Hey guys, Greg here coming to you with another episode of Greg's Bonsai. And today we're going to be showing a new plant. This is a brush cherry, and I got it from nursery stock from my local nursery down the street. And just to kind of give you an idea of what we started with, just with the size of this guy hasn't grown too much since I got it about a month and a half ago. It came and started from this little pot, okay? And the roots were actually kind of swirling out underneath of it. It was just in one of those little pod things at the nursery. And I pulled it out of the pod and I saw the roots hanging out. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is really, really growing out. Let's save it. Let's see what we can do. And so I brought it home and I repotted it into a bonsai training pot. And I thought, let's go from here. And I just ended up putting bonsai soil in here and just a little bit of slow release fertilizer just to help it out. You can use something like this bonsai soil. You can use regular soil if you want, but I went with bonsai soil. You can go with Kanuma that has a little bit more acid to it, a little bit higher pH. But I decided to kind of start with this since it had regular soil in it in a little pot. I decided to go with, like I said, this bonsai soil and this bonsai mix rather, and just kind of see how it goes for the next year or so in here until it's time to repot. So far, a month and a half in, like I said, I got this in January. We're near the end of February here, so this is it. Okay, you can kind of tell where there is new growth and old growth on here, and I bet you can't tell where the old growth is. I'll give you a hint. If you're looking at these darker leaves, you can kind of see what's going on here. I did try and clean a little bit of these up just to kind of show the difference between the old growth and what it can look like. But I think the way they were just watering it at the nursery and maybe even dust getting on it, that, you know, it just has some calcium buildup on here. Because if you look at the newer leaves, let's see if I can get a zoom up on these newer leaves. You can see the shine on them as my camera tries to focus on so many things. But you can kind of just see the shine on this upper area here compared to this dullness on these leaves. Okay, and they do just on the ones that I've kind of semi-cleaned so far, they do still have a nice little sheen to them, but nothing like this new stuff that's coming in and getting that really nice light underneath my grow lights in the tent. And you might have seen this guy in the grow tent in one of my videos, but it's really nice to see this kind of come out and go from there. Now, again, this is nursery stock, so they haven't done anything with it. And this was just labeled Bonsai Starter. Let me see what, Bonsai Starter 2.5 inch. So had no idea what it was. I just kind of did a quick search of what it could be. And it said cherry on it, brush cherry. And in Australia, they have these. This is more native to Australia. And I did research a little bit. And they end up being like hedges. They'll trim them and make them into hedges over there. For us here in the bonsai world, I'm going to be making it a nice stand-up tree. You can kind of see that it's doing like a bend here. I'm going to see if I can do like a bend with wire, and I haven't done a whole lot of wiring, but I want to try and bend this back or make it into like an S while it's still bendable. The things that I've found so far is, you know, you don't want to put wire on it for too long because it will scar very easily. They did also say that making cuts on these guys, you don't want to do huge cuts. It just takes, it's a weird heel. So we're going to play around with that. But talking about doing cuts on this, we can also propagate from those cuts. So I'm going to look at making some propagations and new guys from these cuttings. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. But we'll just kind of come down here and just kind of have a look at the structure of this, which if you notice, let me see if I can get my pointer out here. You can kind of notice that each node here, as we go up, is pretty symmetrical. There was something that had popped out here and it just died off. But if you're going all the way up, wherever there's a branch, it's been pretty symmetrical going up there. So eventually I'll be looking at trimming, one side of these off, one side of this off, just to try and get that evenness and, kind of make it opposites as you go up. And then try and see if we can make a nice canopy out of this as it gets a little older and thicker, especially down here, They say they make a nice oval canopy out of this, but I've kind of seen some where you want to go that basic triangle for a bonsai tree. So I'm really interested to see how this grows. Haven't had to worry about too much. This soil is great for this. It drains really well. Doesn't hold the water back and at bay for the root rotting or anything. And you definitely know when this soil is completely dry. Usually I will lift the pot up. I will see if there's any moisture there, which is just a tiny bit, but you can definitely see the moisture still on the top layer of the soil. And as I was kind of evening this out, you could definitely tell, even here, where there was still moisture in there. So it's an easy way, this kind of pot, this kind of soil, just to kind of see where there's still moisture in the soil. So you kind of want this to dry out and then water it. Let me see, there we go. So really neat to see the difference here between the old growth and a new growth that's coming in the spring. And I don't know if this will happen this spring. Kind of like how my Fukian tree is, you will see buds appear on the growth and they'll produce flowers. I'm going to try and put this outside once frost is over, and we'll see if we get some flowers out of this. I'd be really interested to see that. I will have an update video if we get some flowers. I don't know if it probably needs to be a little bit older until we start seeing some flowers on this guy. But then in the end of summer and into autumn, they actually produce I think a plum or pear looking cherry that's edible, and birds actually like it. So I'm really hoping eventually, with the trimming that we'll be doing, we probably won't see any of that yet. Once we get in a little bit more maturity, we'll be able to see that. But I'm really interested to see how this guy grows and how we get to get to that path. And eventually I will be taking care of all of this calcium dust buildup that are on these leaves. But I just wanted to leave it here to show you and kind of document what things looked like once I got it from the nursery. And I really just wanted to get it in this pot, get it in the tent, and see. That's kind of why I waited to make a video on this. I just wanted to see if it would survive the transplant and me cutting some of that roots, especially the ones that were out and exposed underneath the initial pot. But I just wanted to give it a little bit of room to grow here and get full, and it looks like it is thriving. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know down below in the comments section. I will try and look up anything you guys want to know about this guy. I'm always learning. If you really did like this video, make sure to hit that like button. That thumbs up goes really well to help the YouTube algorithm, especially if you made it this far in the video. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to see on my channel, let me know. And if you really, really like this, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Try to come out with a couple new videos a week. It really depends on what my schedule is at work and what life is like at home. But I try to get 2 to 3 out a week. So if you hit that bell next to that subscribe button, you'll get notified as soon as something comes out on my channel. But this is the brush cherry from Nursery stock. It's doing pretty well, I think. If you have one at home, let me know what it's like. If you use it out as an ornamental, or if you're growing it as a bonsai tree, let me know down below. Always love hearing from you guys out there. So until next time, guys, this is Greg from Greg's Bonsai, documenting the world of my garden and my grow tents. Until next time, guys, this is Greg signing off. Take care. Thanks for watching.